Honey, I'm home. I'm Sangeeta and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make these golden chocolate studded Nutella stuffed cookies. It's a breeze to bake these. The dough can be whipped out in no time and the cookies are so delicious. Freeze them and bake them whenever you want and you'll have a fresh cookie whenever you crave. But before we get started, the last recipe I posted was equally stunning. This pastry was so fresh and delicious. It's mango season, so replace the strawberries with mangoes and make this at once. You'll find the link on the top right corner. Let's start with a Nutella stuffed chocolate chip recipe. Line a baking tray with parchment paper. Drop in a dollop of Nutella. You'll get 7 super large cookies using this recipe if you are stuffing Nutella in it. But if you're making regular cookies, you'll get about 14 to 16 cookies out of it. Pop the Nutella into a freezer until it hardens. It should take you about an hour or two. You can scoop out smaller portions of Nutella if you want smaller cookies. To make the cookie dough, drop in 180 grams of softened butter into a large mixing bowl. I'm using unsalted butter here, but if you're using salted butter, then skip the salt in the recipe. Toss in 3/4 cup of loosely packed brown sugar. Follow it by adding 1/4 cup of white sugar. Use an electric beater and whip it up until combined. You can find all the list of the ingredients down below in the description box. Once thoroughly combined, add 2 eggs, sans the eggshells of course, into the mixture. I've made these cookies a million times already. I don't stuff these with anything. I prefer having the chocolate chip cookies by itself. Now beat this mixture until it gets fluffy and light. Every single time I get a soft, light and fluffy mixture, but today it's grainy and that's because the butter has broken out of the batter when the fat gets too cold. So make sure that the eggs and butter are at room temperature, but you don't have to fix it, it still tastes the same. Now toss in 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt into it. Drop in 250 grams or 1.5 cup plus 4 tablespoon flour into the batter. Add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Use a spatula and mix it all in. Do not beat using an electric beater. You'll end up with a fairly sticky dough. Now drop in chocolate chips of your choice and quantity and mix it all up. Sometimes I like breaking in huge chunks of chocolate bars to get pools of chocolate puddle while baking. Cover the bowl and pop this in the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours. I recommend overnight, but honestly it tastes good soon after too. I usually bake a few without resting the dough. It spreads a lot but tastes so damn fresh and good. Then I store the rest in the fridge overnight. Sometimes I scoop the dough and portion it out once it's cold and then put it in a freezer bag and freeze it in the fridge and make fresh cookies whenever I want. I don't usually bake the cookies all at once. I like picking out one at a time and then baking it fresh whenever I crave for one. Scoop out the dough and sandwich the frozen Nutella and seal it well. It's easier to handle the dough when it's cold, else it gets sticky when it comes to room temperature. I definitely don't recommend you do it outdoors under the sun. Smoothen out the ball and stud them with a few more chocolate chips for aesthetics, of course. I bake these cookies all the time, so it's my favorite. Bake these cookies in a preheated oven at 140 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes. Do not overbake these cookies. Once the edges turn light brown, take your cookies out. I'm adding in stock videos to explain a few things now. The spread, texture, and flavor of the cookie varies when you chill the dough. When you don't chill the cookie dough and bake them right after you make the dough, you'll end up with a thinner cookie. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I always bake a small batch soon after I make the dough because I can't wait that long. Let's just say I'm making sure that this batch of cookie tastes good. R&D, you see? The cookies will be a little doughy than chewy if you do not chill it. But if you do chill it for at least 2 hours, you'll allow the dough to absorb all the flavors and develop the flavor. The cookies are chewy and yummy. Overnight is ideal if you've got patience and time. Also, let's talk about sugars. If you substitute the brown sugar for all white, you'll end up with a crunchy cookie with less moisture. All dark brown sugar will give you a soft, chewy cookie but without a crunchy edge. A combination of white and brown sugar is the key. It gives you the most amazing cookie that is soft, chewy, and with a crunchy outer ring. I'll also leave the details below as to how I store the cookie dough in the description box down below. I'm breaking the cookie open when it's still hot so I can show you how the chocolate center oozes out. I suggest you wait and let the cookie to come to a room temperature so that the chocolate sets and the cookie also holds its texture like so. These cookies are just perfection and honestly every single one of you should try it. Also, if you're new to this channel, hi and welcome. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at TanyaMHome. I'll leave the link down below in the description box. So I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. Until next time.